The boardroom was silent, so silent you could hear the clock ticking. Across the long, polished oak table sat Amelia Thornton, a woman whose name commanded respect in business circles. A self-made millionaire, known for her razor-sharp mind and fiery determination, she had built her empire from the ground up. But right now, Amelia's face was flushed red, not from power, but from anger. On the other end of the table sat a delegation from Shanghai, a group of high-profile investors who had flown all the way to New York to discuss a partnership worth millions. They spoke confidently in Mandarin, nodding and pointing at their documents, while Amelia sat frozen in frustration. She had prepared everything, the numbers, the charts, the proposals. But there was one thing she hadn't accounted for. Nobody in the room understood Chinese. Her team fumbled with translation apps that garbled words into nonsense. One assistant whispered nervously, "Ma'am, maybe we should reschedule until we find a proper interpreter." "Reschedule," Amelia snapped, slamming her hand on the table. "Do you think they'll fly halfway across the world just to wait around for us to figure things out? This is the most important deal of the year, and none of you, can even understand what they're saying." The room grew hotter, her anger simmering like fire. She felt trapped, powerful yet powerless, rich yet helpless. For a woman who had conquered every obstacle in life, this moment cut deeper than any failure. And then, a small, timid voice came from the corner. I can help." Everyone turned their heads. Standing by the doorway was Lena, the shy 14-year-old daughter of Amelia's maid, Rosa. Rosa had been Amelia's housekeeper for years, always quiet and dependable, never once crossing the boundary between employer and servant. But today, her daughter stood there, fidgeting nervously, clutching her school bag. "What are you doing here, Lena?" Amelia demanded, more out of shock than anger. "Mama asked me to wait for her," Lena stammered. "I heard the men speaking, they're speaking Mandarin. I can understand them." The room went dead silent. "You, a child," one of Amelia's assistants scoffed. Lena lowered her gaze, but then lifted her chin with quiet strength. "Yes, I can translate, .. It sounded absurd, but desperation has a way of opening doors. Amelia pinched the bridge of her nose, trying to think. She could dismiss this as foolishness, or she could take the risk. "Fine," Amelia said finally. "Show me what you can do." The investors began speaking again, gesturing toward the proposal. Lena stepped forward slowly, listening carefully. Then she began to translate, her voice trembling at first but growing steadier with each word. And just like that, walls crumbled. For the first time that day, the conversation flowed. Numbers made sense, intentions became clear, misunderstandings were erased. Amelia watched in disbelief as this girl, the maid's daughter, bridged a gap that millions of dollars couldn't solve. The meeting stretched for hours. By the end, the investors were smiling, shaking hands with Amelia, impressed not just with her proposal but with the unexpected translator who had saved the deal. When the doors closed and silence returned, Amelia sank into her chair, staring at Lena. How do you know Chinese?" she asked softly, the anger drained from her voice. Lena hesitated, then answered, "I love languages. I study them online whenever I can. Chinese, Japanese, French. I want to be a linguist one day, or maybe work for the United Nations." Her words hit Amelia harder than she expected. For years, Amelia had prided herself on seeing talent where others saw nothing. Yet here she was, overlooking a diamond hidden right under her nose. But Lena's path was not easy. Her mother, Rosa, worked long hours just to keep food on the table. They lived in a small, cramped apartment where dreams often shriveled under the weight of survival. Lena had no private tutors, no elite school, no luxury of time. Everything she learned through library books, borrowed laptops, and sheer determination. Amelia realized that while she had been fuming about a language barrier, this young girl had been quietly breaking barriers her entire life. And Amelia made a decision. The following weeks were transformative. Amelia not only sealed the partnership with the Chinese investors but also extended her hand toward Lena. She offered to sponsor Lena's education, enrolling her in one of the finest schools with advanced language programs. At first, Rosa resisted, humbled and embarrassed, but Amelia assured her, "This is not charity. This is investment, in talent, in a future that deserves to shine." Yet challenges still came. At her new school, Lena faced bullying from wealthy classmates who sneered at her simple clothes and humble background. "The maid's daughter," they whispered. "She doesn't belong here." There were nights Lena came home in tears, questioning if she was worthy of Amelia's support. But Rosa reminded her, "Mieha, your voice broke down walls. Don't let anyone build them back up." Amelia, too, stepped in, becoming not just a benefactor but a mentor. She shared her own story, how she had once been ridiculed for being poor, how the world had doubted her, and how she had fought tooth and nail to rise. "You don't need to come from money to create value," Amelia told her. "You just need courage, and you already have that." Years passed. The shy girl who once stood trembling in the corner became a confident young woman, fluent in multiple languages, excelling in international relations. She interned with global organizations, stood on stages delivering speeches, and earned scholarships abroad. One day, as Amelia sat watching Lena deliver a powerful address in front of a global audience, she felt tears prick her eyes. The same voice that had once saved her business deal was now inspiring the world. And Amelia realized, sometimes the greatest treasures are found in the most unexpected places. The story of Amelia and Lena became more than just a tale of business success. It was a reminder that wealth isn't just measured in money, but in the opportunities we create for others. That talent can come from the most humble beginnings. That sometimes, the voices we overlook are the ones that can change everything. Amelia had started as a woman fuming in frustration, but she ended as a woman forever changed, because a maid's daughter spoke Chinese when no one else could. And Lena, she became proof that dreams have no social class, only determination. Message to viewers. If this story touched your heart, tell us in the comments what part inspired you the most. Do you believe talent can be found in unexpected places? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Be kind always, for more powerful and emotional stories that remind us of the beauty of humanity.